Some of you might already know what psoriasis is. You might have done some research, somebody may have explained it to you. If that's you and you want to go straight to the meat of this video series, you can go ahead and skip this video, go right to the next one. This video is mainly for people that don't know what psoriasis is, or maybe know a little bit and want to have a more clear understanding. Psoriasis is an autoimmune disease. An autoimmune disease is a disease that causes the immune system to turn on itself. This is going to make sense in just a second. So what is the immune system? The immune system, or autoimmune system, is what prevents our bodies from getting ill. It also fights off illnesses once we do get sick. So what our immune system does is it creates autobodies that attack and protect us from things like parasites, fungus, viruses, any foreign invaders that are meant to harm the body. That's our immune system's job, to keep us healthy, to keep us as healthy as possible by attacking these things that might harm us. So what an autoimmune disease does is it causes our immune system to not be able to tell the difference between our regular, normal, healthy tissue and something else that might harm our body. So in the case of psoriasis, what psoriasis does is it makes our immune system mistake normal skin cells for pathogens. Now, a pathogen is any microorganism that can cause disease. In other words, psoriasis makes our immune system not be able to tell the difference between our normal skin cells and something else that might actually get us sick. So what our immune system does is it attacks and destroys our own normal skin cells. It tries to heal our skin even though there's nothing wrong with it. This is why it gets inflamed. This is why it gets red, because inflammation is our body's way of starting to heal. Okay, like when something heavy falls on your toe, it's going to get inflamed fast. Not to get it confused with infected. Okay, infection and inflammation are two different things. So, if something heavy falls on your toe, it's going to get inflamed fast. That's because that's our body's way to start the healing process. Now, because of psoriasis and because of our immune system's confusion, this healing process of our skin produces new skin cells, which are really not needed, and this causes an overpopulation of new skin cells. Some examples of autoimmune diseases are juvenile diabetes, lupus, psoriasis. One thing that we must know about psoriasis is that there is no cure. Okay, and this is because we cannot modify genetics. We cannot mess with that, at least not yet. Hopefully soon, technology advances enough so that we are able to get cured forever. But as of now, there is no cure. However, there are ways that we can treat psoriasis and make the symptoms go away. That terrible itching, that burning sensation, the ugly looking outbreaks, all that we can definitely treat, and we can make it go away. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you in this video series. I'm going to be telling you exactly what I did to make my psoriasis go away fast. Okay, so even though we can't treat it and make the symptoms go away, you might even forget that you have psoriasis, because without the symptoms, you can just live a normal life. So even though you can treat it, there is no cure. You cannot say, I don't have psoriasis anymore. You won't have the symptoms anymore. Okay, and I'm gonna help you with that. Important thing to know is that it's not contagious. This is something you might want to be telling people that that you see every day. They may not know. Doesn't matter what they do, how close they get, even if they touch it, there's just no way they're gonna catch it from you. There is no known cause for psoriasis. Doctors still don't know what causes psoriasis, but people that do have psoriasis, there are known triggers, okay, that we must try to avoid. And we're gonna be talking about that later. What triggers our psoriasis, what makes the outbreaks happen. If we're able to have a strategic plan to avoid the triggers, then we're a much better position, and our psoriasis, our symptoms are gonna go away a lot faster. Okay, and I'm gonna help you with that. It is believed to be largely a genetic disease. If you are still not sure if you have psoriasis, a good idea is to ask somebody in your family if somebody in your family has psoriasis. It wasn't until I told my parents that I had it that I found out that my grandma has it, my cousin, my aunt, a lot of people in my family. So it's a good idea to ask, if you still are not sure if you have psoriasis or not. It affects about 3% of the world's population. That is a lot of people. That's including 7.5 million Americans. So if you ever felt alone on this, you don't need to feel alone, my friend. There is so many people that have this, that suffer from the same thing that you do. It's really a common disease. It's most common between the ages of 15 and 30. That's when most of the first outbreaks happen. For me, it was when I was 21 when I first started noticing the extra dry skin. There are different types of psoriasis. We're going to talk about that now. There is plaque psoriasis, is the most common, probably what you have. It is what I have. It is characterized by the inflamed patches of redness and silvery scales on your skin. It may bleed, it may not bleed, and just because it doesn't bleed, it doesn't mean that it's not painful. Okay, my psoriasis, the outbreaks happen on my hands, and they would bleed a lot, and it would be really, really terrible. So yeah, that's the most common form of psoriasis. There is nail psoriasis, manifests in your fingernails or toenails and causes discomfort and discoloration. There is scalp psoriasis, which can be confused with dandruff. It's where red itchy areas appear on your head along with silvery white scales. There is also goutte psoriasis, which can be confused with allergic reactions. If you have this, you'll notice small bumps on your trunk and abdomen that itch and scale over. And even though it's not as extreme as plaque psoriasis, it can still be painful. There is inverse psoriasis, generally appearing around the breast and groin area. And there is pustular psoriasis, uncommon but still treatable. This version of psoriasis causes blisters that appear over already red and itchy skin. I just want to pause for a second and let you know that all the tricks that I'm going to be sharing with you, everything that worked for me works for any type of psoriasis. So it doesn't matter if you don't have plaque psoriasis and you have another type of psoriasis. The things that I'm going to be sharing with you, they can work for you too. Okay. We should know how normal skin works. Okay. The skin, it has two layers, top and bottom layer, and it has a life cycle. So it's usually 28 to 30 days, the time that it takes out the bottom skin to make its way to the top. This process is not noticeable at all. People take showers, and once they dry themselves up with the towel, that towel is taking with it a lot of those dead skin cells that is something that just happens and people don't notice. Now how our skin works, how skin of people with psoriasis works, is this process moves 10 times faster. Okay, so what usually takes on normal skin 28 to 30 days, on our skin it takes only 2 to 3 days. And this causes a dead skin buildup because after just 3 days our top skin has nowhere to go, and it just stays there for a while. Its most common areas are the scalp, elbows, knees, knuckles, but it can show up anywhere. Like mine show up on my hands, my knuckles, my part of my fingers, the whole back of my hands. And it's important to treat psoriasis as fast as you can because to prevent it from spreading. Mine started small on my hands and then it spread all over my hands. So it's very important to treat your psoriasis and make it go away as soon as you can. Next video, we're going to be talking about the number one psoriasis trigger. We mentioned before that there are many different triggers, but this one thing, it's the one thing that we must try to minimize and avoid as much as possible, because once we have this under control, we're in a much better position and we are able to treat our psoriasis much faster and make it go away a lot faster. So see you next video.